Hello, Steve Mills here again, and in this video I want to talk about how to grow your social media network. Now, this is one of the most important parts, I think, of the whole issue around crowd development. If you're not known by enough people, you're probably never going to really be able to scale your business. So, for example, if your target market, let's say, is hotels in Hampshire in England, and there are 5,000 hotels in that area, and I'm making those numbers up, but if they were, and you've only got access from a marketing standpoint to, let's say, 1,000, you've perhaps got an email list of 1,000 people, and maybe you've got a LinkedIn list of another 500 or something like that. That means whatever the calculation is, about 65% of your market you're not actually marketing to, and that's a real no-no. It's an area that you've just got to sort out. So you've got to really try to make sure that your market is fulfilled. You know, you've got everybody in your market on your database. Now, I know that's probably impossible, particularly if, I say my market's small businesses anywhere in the world. I wonder how many of those there are. There are probably, I don't know, maybe 100 million of them, and I've certainly not got a database of that. But what I am doing is constantly and never-endingly improving it, and one way of doing that is via social media, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So first thing we're going to look at is the different social medias. So you need to decide, obviously, which ones you're going to focus on. It depends very much on your target market. If it's more B2B, then maybe LinkedIn. If it's more younger people, it might be something like TikTok, and so on and so forth. But I'll cover that in another video, but this is about how do you get more people. So the first place I always tell people to go is, who do they know outside of that network? So if I use, for example, Facebook, I'm on Facebook and I've got a load of people I'm connected to, but who do I know that I'm that I'm currently not connected to on Facebook, that if I did connect to them, that'd help me grow my database. So that would be, where I'd go first. Am I connected to all my customers? Am I connected to all the people I know networking? Am I connected to all my past customers? What about all my prospects? Am I connected to them on Facebook? And so on and so forth. Then on many of these sites, you can gain access to your first level contacts. Actually, it's more often known as your second level, but what I mean by first level is your contacts, if you will. So on LinkedIn, for example, perfect place for that. If you connect to me, that gives you access to my close to 9,000 other small business owners that may be of value to you. So that's a great way of doing it. And the same on Facebook and other sites. But then you've got something like, say, for example, Twitter and Instagram, where it's about you connect to me and then that encourages me to connect to you. But you can't just, go and connect. You can't see everybody's contacts, but what you can do is start to connect to people, and that's a good thing. One thing that's really good on that, I've just got into using TikTok, and what I'm finding is that I'm connecting to people, but I'm only connecting to people. I'm getting loads of people connecting to me, but the people I'm connecting to are the big players in my market. You with me? So I'll give you one example. So someone like Grant Cardone, who's got millions of people connected to him. I'm connected to Grant, and I'm going on to TikTok. I'm adding videos. I'm sharing them. I'm liking his videos. I'm commenting on his videos, and so on. And that's sort of linking me into his network. And if somebody likes Grant, then they might like me in terms of what I do as well. You with me on that? So it's a matter of going and finding successful people with huge numbers of people, connecting to them, and then accessing their people on an ongoing basis. So that can work really well. And the same applies to groups. Be it on LinkedIn, Facebook, or wherever. I can go onto LinkedIn and type in the words, I don't know, golf groups or golf groups UK. And if I ran my own golf business selling golf equipment, clubs and clothes and all that sort of thing, I can go on there and I can do one of two things. I can either communicate with those people. I can go into the group and post, we've got a special deal on this new ping club or something like that. And I can go and connect or asked to connect with all the members of that group. So if there are 58,000 members, why would you be a member of a group called the Golf Lovers Association? Why would you join that group? Well, it's because you love golf. And if you love golf, you're going to have to buy golf stuff. And that's what I do. I sell golf equipment. So you join that group, connect to all the members, or as many as you can. Might take you time to get through to the 48,000 of them. But once you are connected to them, then you can start building that relationship and communicating with them, which I will cover a little bit later on. But for now, let's just focus on getting those connections. The other thing you can do, I'm going to talk LinkedIn here because that's the site I use most, by the way. So on LinkedIn, you can, if you're a premium member, you've obviously got your connections. You've got the next level down, which I've already spoken to you about, which is your connections. And then you can get your connections if you need to do that. So you might have, like, I got 9,000 contacts. Let's say on average they've only got 500. That's 500 times 9,000. Getting all them is going to keep me more than busy, I think, anyway. But potentially I could go and get the third level of connections if I'm a premium member. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, in the top left-hand corner, there's a little button there called search. So if you type something in and click people, so you're searching for people, you can find a whole bunch of your target market. So for example, if my target market was accountants in London, I'd just go in there, I'd type in accountants London, it will give me a list of all the accountants in London who are registered on LinkedIn. Now there's a bit of a however here, and the however is if you're a free member on LinkedIn, I think it's 300 people it will give you. Now, there might be 30,000 people. If you're a paid member of LinkedIn, I think it's now like 1,000 people, but you could go and get 1,000 today and then get 1,000 tomorrow, or 300 today, 300 tomorrow, and just keep asking those people to connect to you. I want to be really clear on something though that's really important, and that is that LinkedIn will tell you that you're not allowed or supposed to connect to people that you don't know. And I understand that. I understand it from LinkedIn's point of view. I understand it from almost people's point of view, that they don't want to connect to people that they don't know. However, I want to grow my business. And so connecting to new people is definitely a key part of that. I want to be also clear that, if I'm connected to you on LinkedIn, I'm not going to go in there and connect to everybody that's connected to you. I am going to go in there and find the right people for me to connect, which could be your contacts, some of them, and I'm going to connect to them. So I'm not going to connect to everybody, but I'm going to be carefully select the people that you need to connect to. And then the next step, when you're growing that business, is to think about your communication strategy, and I'll be covering that in another video, but for now just think about that. I'd also strongly recommend that you set yourself a goal. You know, you're going to get busy. You're going to have times when you just don't do it, and you could start off having watched this video with good intentions, and then anything from 1 day to 10 days to 30 days, perhaps even 3 months, it just dies down and stops. So my strong advice would be set yourself a goal. How many new people you're going to get? How many new people you're going to get in a period of time? Our goal is to hit the 10,000 mark within the next year. That's where we are right now. We're in I think just below 9,000, and so in the next year, in the next 365 days, we're going to try and get about 1,000 people. So we need roughly about, what's that, 4 people a day. Is that right? I think it is. Yeah, it must be. About 4 people per day I need. And to get that, we get a strike rate of about 7 out of 10. So if I ask 10 people today to join and connect to me, about 7 will. So, you know, I suppose if I only need 4, then if I asked about 6 people every day, I'm probably going to get 4 of them. So, you know, that's doable, isn't it? As long as you do it consistently and do it every day. So that's it. I hope that was of value. And I'm sure it was, but I say that assuming you take action, because that's what's going to get results. Thanks very much for listening.